Let's get real. Smartphones aren't just phones, they're slot machines. We don't use them because they're useful. We use them because they're addictive, designed that way. The biggest companies in the world, Google, Meta, ByteDance, employ thousands and thousands of employees to make sure that we never put that screen down. Push notifications, red badges, infinite scroll, autoplay, pull to refresh, all of it is engineered to hijack your brain's reward system. Not to serve you, to serve them. With more data, more time and more ad revenue. We call it a tool, but it's using us. And the scariest part, it's working. We didn't just lose time, we lost something deeper, our thoughts. Ever wonder why your best ideas happen in the shower? It's not magic, it's boredom, it's the only time of the day when you aren't distracted by a phone or any of the other wild things that come with it. Real undistracted boredom, the kind that creates space for your brain to wander, connect ideas or solve problems. But we killed boredom. Every spare second is filled with noise. Headlines, memes, messages, videos. There is no space between thoughts anymore. No silence, no friction. We don't process life, we consume it like fast food. And it leaves us mentally bloated and creatively malnourished. When was the last time you just sat and thought? Our phones took that, not on purpose, but by design. For me, the breaking point came when I realized something terrifying. I wasn't creating anything anymore. I used to write, tinker and build stuff. I used to read actual books. I was consuming highlights, hot takes, flickering content that disappeared as fast as it came. Even when I tried to make something, I'd grab my phone, check messages, scroll Reddit, doom scroll Twitter, or just spend time watching thousands of reels every day. My attention span shattered, my thoughts fragmented everywhere, my inner world silenced by the world outside. I needed a radical shift. A digital detox wasn't enough. I'd fall right back in. So I looked into Dumbphones and eventually landed on the Mudita Kompakt. I used a Google Pixel, this one, before, and I'm quite shocked how big these phones became over the time. But then I really thought and wanted to make a change for myself. I got myself this little device. It's from a little Polish company. It's the Mudita Kompakt, and for me it's the perfect hybrid device to cure my problems. It's an e-ink display with a lot of battery time, and it gives me the joy of everyday life back again. It's purposefully designed to give back everything that you lost during the transition to the smartphone era. It has no internet browser, no social media, no distractions. It just has the essential things a phone should have. You can call, you can text, you have maps, you can listen to music, and it has everything you really need a phone for, not the distractions like games or social media or all the other push notifications and so on, but this only has the essential things. It felt like holding a breath of fresh air. It wasn't just less, it was enough, this phone. My first week was rough. I constantly wanted to get to my old habits and checked for my phone, and my brain started begging for stimulation. I reached my old phone out of muscle memory. And the most shocking part to me was that I now gained freedom and felt bored, which I never had for a few years in my life. As I was constantly checking my phone and never felt bored in my life since I got my first smartphone, and it was such an enjoyable moment because now my creative thoughts overflow and I just wanted to create something and started reading, started drawing again, started creating videos like these, and all these creative thoughts popped up in my head, and it's such a wild thing to me that all these things were kept back only because I used my phone constantly every day, procrastinated and sat down and just did nothing I wanted to do. I had so much things I wanted to do, and I started creating again. Like it wasn't just the phone I got, it was the lifestyle it created. Now let's be real, I didn't just throw my old phone in a volcano. I still use it for banking apps, for two-factor authentication or occasional maps usage, but I live in a hybrid lifestyle, and this is the perfect solution for me at the moment. Now my old phone, the Google Pixel, is a tool for me, which I only use for the things I really need. I can't get around anymore without e-banking or other parts which slowly transition to the online world. I really hoped that it wouldn't be such a drastic change, but choice is slowly fading away and we can't use most of these services without the phone anymore. And so I carefully selected what I really needed to do with my old phone and just use it for that, as a tool for all these essential things, but most of the time I consciously leave it at home in a drawer and only use it for when I really need it. Because when I'm outside, I mostly don't have a phone with me anymore, or I just use this thing. And the Mudita Kompakt doesn't have color, and this has made such a huge impact because I wasn't getting these distracting notifications, distracting colors which I need to check, and nothing to distract me in my everyday life. The change I made wasn't about being a purist or a minimalist or just cutting technology out of my life. It's about an intentional change I made. About using tech without letting it using me. The Mudita is my main phone, but my life, it's finally me again. We traded boredom for distraction, creativity for consumption, and presence for pixels. But it's not irreversible. You can reclaim your mind, you can get bored again, and that's where the magic starts. You don't have to make a radical change, just make some conscious and slow transitions which will lead you to the right path. Just leave your phone at home sometimes, or don't put it on the table when you're out with someone, because this indicates that you're not really present with them and the phone is still grasping you. Or just install a minimal launcher, or if you really want to go the hard way. Just get a Dumbphone and try it out for a few days. It isn't a hard transition, and it isn't really hard to try. Just give it a try for a few days and just look what happens, because you can still use a hybrid lifestyle like me and use a Dumbphone or a dumbified phone, which only is there for the essential things. I was and still am in the same boat as you probably, and still use and am dependent on many things a smartphone would give. Especially, I can't really use an old phone. It isn't really that old, but with the old alphabet and structure of the keys, I have to use a keyboard like on a computer, and there are a lot of key factors that I really need to have. It is quite sad, but the environment I live in, all people depend on WhatsApp for their main communication, and if I quit WhatsApp, I would be cutting off myself to all of those channels, to all the things I need also for work or university, and I can't really let that happen. And therefore I made a conscious choice and thought what I really need for myself. I made a list and looked for phones that gave me all these things, but consciously cutting out all the distracting parts which I don't really need. I was hesitant with this decision. I love tech, but switching changed me, and it could change you too. Let's talk about it. Would you ever ditch your smartphone? What's stopping you? Drop a comment below if you have any thoughts on this topic. If this resonated, hit the like button or subscribe for more content like this.